Alright, what's up YouTube? Today I'm going to show you a couple of my Tippmanns. I know a lot of people like to post their videos on here of like their mods and everything, so I decided I was going to do one myself. Especially since I just got a very large shipment of things off of a mixture of websites plus eBay, which I'll admit there's actually some pretty good stuff out there on eBay, because a lot of people are like, oh, well, they got, cheap stuff from China and stuff, but there's actually some good stuff on there. So, I'll go ahead and walk you through. First is going to be my Tippmann A5 here. It's actually pretty sweet, and I finally got it hooked up. Gotta tweak it a little bit more. I want to do some work on the internals, but I mean, it came from a stock, A5, and it's turned into something pretty good. So I was actually pretty pumped. I managed to get this A5 for $100 on itself, and then I ended up getting an E-trigger in a trade. So it's got the E-trigger on it. So it's got all the it's got response and then burst fire and full auto. So that's a pretty nice thing. Whoa. Sorry, I'm using a tablet to record here. So I'll show you. I've got the RAP4 tactical rail right here. This thing's actually not that bad. It blends into the marker very well. So, I suggest that you get one. I managed to get mine for 20 bucks with shipping. Then there's also this carry handle riser here that I got, which I don't have a carry handle for it, but it's a good riser anyway. It's got the tri-rail thing going on. It's got two little weaver rail pieces on either side. So and then it's got the option to add another one right there in the middle, which is pretty cool. And then I've got my Tasco red dot here. Works pretty well. Yeah, we all know that scopes are really pointless for paintball. So for all you negative Nancys that are going to comment on this, like, what the fuck's the point of putting a scope on there? I'll tell you. It makes it look badass. It makes it look like a real, marker. Or not a real marker, but a real gun. And that's what a lot of us woods ballers like about that, So the idea of having a scope on there is not for it to actually work, but for aesthetics. So please don't bitch, and if you do, I probably am not going to respond to any of it anyway, so who cares. Troll on. But yeah, it's got 11 settings, 11 brightness settings, and I don't know if you can see in there or not. I hope you can, but yeah, there you go, you can see that. It's actually pretty decent for, the brightness and all that. And, it's not bad for a $30 scope, if you ask me. Yeah, you can't adjust it very much, but like I said, who cares, because it's only for paintball. They're not, okay, these are ghetto. They're not teched squishy paddles, but they are still squishy paddles. And I noticed they're just like the squishy paddles. They bend like them, so who really cares? They're pink. Who cares? But they work just as fine. Right here, I don't really have any other upgrades on the Cyclone, but I do have this mag kit, which actually I think is about 20 bucks too. There's a lot of $20 parts on this marker here, so unfortunately, since it was 20 bucks and I got it off of eBay, I didn't pay attention to the auction, and it was an olive drab one, and it was for pre-2011 markers, so it ended up to where I had to Dremel off like the top half, because it was a lot lower than this, had like a whole nother section here, so I dremeled that off. Had to dremel lower in here too, so that I could fit it on again. But just to make it line up with the E-grip, you know. And then I went ahead and I painted, because it was all olive drab, I just painted it with flat black. I decided not to clear coat it because I figured, well, it'll probably, you know, kind of get roughed up looking, and that'll be alright with me. This barrel right here actually is pretty awesome. Picked it up for 50 bucks. Yeah, 50 bucks altogether. I was pretty excited about that because I think it's like 65 to 70 for you know, a decent barrel with a weaver shroud on it. And I mean, this is a Wrap 4 barrel kit, I think. I'm not even really sure. I got it from some, you know, some eBay seller. I'm telling you, man, this site's actually pretty good. You can find all kinds of sellers on there if you look. So yeah, I can change out the tips and stuff like that. Now, the shroud itself is pretty sweet. It works like a real M4 in the way that it's actually got this going on where you can pop off the handguards. Now, they are screwed together, so you have to unscrew them first, but if you decided you needed to, you know, work on or clean your barrel, or, you know, you get paint under here, you can feel free to do that and then pop this off, and it kind of gives it that realistic effect. It's got the front sight on here. A buddy of mine who actually owns real guns, he had a bayonet, and I think there's like a little bit of restriction, but if you really wanted to be a badass, this front sight here actually has the bayonet piece for it, so you could slide a bayonet on there, which is pretty cool for me, I think. And then the sling, the foregrips from a BT marker that I have just lying around, I just put it on there because I don't use the other marker. The sling, I got it off of a luggage bag, believe it or not, and it works just fine for me. Got metal clips on it, so it's heavy duty. And then I've got this buttstock. These usually run about 30 to 40 bucks. I picked one up for 15 after shipping. And that's basically this marker here. There's no internal upgrades on it right now. I would like to upgrade it though. Maybe add a couple more tactical pieces to it, look more aesthetic, but overall, it's not that bad of a marker. I mean, what do you think? Oh, you can't even see it. How much have I been actually filming of the marker this whole time? There we go. So, it's hard to get in the whole frame with this freaking iPad, but that's all good. Doesn't look too bad though. I like the way it looks right now. I got an AUG project like Major Mia, the Aussie. He's a pretty cool guy. You know, I asked him a ton of questions about his Steyr that he was making with an A5, and I might make another video of that showing basically what I did, because the Steyr project's actually pretty hard. Major Mia, his craftsmanship is amazing, so props on that. I am attempting to, though. I'm almost there. The last thing that I need to do is actually make the grip work, but I've got the E-grip all together in the mag, wired up to the micro switch, which hits the trigger, the original AUG trigger. So I mean, I've got it shaved down to where it fits in there. So the last thing is actually getting the solenoid to kick the sear so that the hammer goes back and forth properly when the E-grip is triggered. So that project's coming along, and it's looking pretty good. But that's the last part that I need for that. So like I said, props to Major Mia. That's your project. I understand your pain now.